Yeah. Have a seat.
Good morning.
Aashna Chaudhary.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself.
So my name is Aashna Chaudhary. I belong from a very small town in Uttar Pradesh. It's known as Tilkhua in the district Hapur. I have done my schooling from Delhi Public School, Ghaziabad, and subsequently I did my bachelor's in English from Lady Shri Ram College for Women. Currently I'm pursuing my master's in international relations from South Asian University.
Okay, that's good. Your name is quite interesting. Aashna. What does it mean?
So it is an Urdu origin word which means beloved or companion.
Beloved or companion?
Yes.
Okay. One movie was made by this name. You remember the name?
Dil Aashna hai.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. You have taught some children through some NGO.
Yes.
How many children you've taught there, educated, and on what subjects?
Sir, it was class 1. I was teaching class 1 students. There were 62 students in my class. And I was teaching them all the subjects from English to maths to Hindi, as well as environmental subjects.
Right.
Yes.
And you said they are children from vulnerable sections.
Yes, sir. It is a government school, so the children were not from very well-to-do families. They were enrolled in a government school and they belonged from not so well-off families.
So you think if the children are not from well-off families, they become vulnerable?
No, sir. But sir, poverty is one factor, and I really appreciate their guardians for having mustered the resources in order to send them to the schools.
But what do you mean by vulnerable?
So by vulnerable, I mean the sections that do not have access to plenty of resources, basic resources such as housing, shelter, clothing, etc., food, etc.
But we sometimes call the people who are criminals and like that, they are vulnerable.
Sir, sir, in the social issues course, in the UPSC curriculum as well, we have dealt with women and children also, some backward classes as the vulnerable sections.
Backward classes and the children which do not have facilities and all, they are vulnerable.
Yes.
But I am not still very clear about vulnerable.
Yes, sir.
Which way they are they harmful
No, sir.
to society or in any way doing damage to somebody,
No,
that they are called vulnerable?
Sir, by vulnerable here, I mean people who do not have access to great facilities, or people who have less access to the capital in order to realize their potential and access to opportunities as well.
Okay. What is a hobby?
Sir, my hobbies.
What is a hobby?
What is a hobby? Sir,
Hobby means what?
Sir, hobby means something that you pursue in your that you like pursuing in your free time.
Free time.
Yes, sir.
You have written jogging as your hobby.
Yes, sir.
So suppose you get free time in the afternoon on a sunny day.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to go for jogging?
No, sir. Sir, suppose I get free time in the morning or evening, I go for jogging, and I have written other hobbies as well. If I get free during other times, I would like to pursue the other hobbies such as reading or doing yoga as well.
Reading and?
Doing yoga.
Doing yoga.
Yes.
Very good. You come from Uttar Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
Uttar Pradesh has been divided into Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh.
Yes.
There is still more talk of further divisions.
Yes, sir.
How many divisions are expected, and what will happen, whether it will grow or it will go backward? What are your views on the division of Uttar Pradesh further, and how many parts?
Sir, there have been various demands for the division of Uttar Pradesh. There has been a demand of dividing Uttar Pradesh into East Uttar Pradesh and West Uttar Pradesh, with West Uttar Pradesh being called Harit Pradesh. Further, there have been demands from the former Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Mayawati ji, of dividing Uttar Pradesh into 4 parts for the ease of administration. Sir, in case we have seen such divisions in case of Andhra Pradesh as well, and we have seen such divisions in case of Bihar and Madhya Pradesh as well. From the administrative point of view, it becomes easier to govern a state which is not very big, but there are various demerits as well, such as the creation of identity politics due to such division.
Bundelkhand also is expected to be part of another state.
Yes, sir.
Division of Uttar Pradesh into Bundelkhand also.
Yes, sir.
East and West. Okay. Every year we experience floods in Uttar Pradesh, eastern Uttar Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
When there is so much of water, why there is no Harit Pradesh in Uttar Pradesh, eastern Uttar Pradesh?
Sir, it can be attributed to various factors. One, the fragmentary nature of the Green Revolution that was brought about in the 1970s, where these areas were, where certain eastern areas were neglected and precedence was given to the western parts of the country. Also, sir, there are less water reservoirs and the less water capturing structures made in these areas. Also, the development has also been slightly neglected in these areas, and this is why they could not develop to the potential they could have.
Suppose you become an IAS officer and you get the Uttar Pradesh cadre also. Which portion of Uttar Pradesh would like to be posted for most of your career?
Sir, I would like to be posted in Eastern Uttar Pradesh. There are 2 reasons for this. I have been born and raised in Western Uttar Pradesh, so Eastern Uttar Pradesh is a site that I have been less exposed to. Also, there is a scope of more work in Eastern Uttar Pradesh. Western Uttar Pradesh, being close to the national capital, has been developed to the most. And so I would like to work in the backward regions of the country.
Good. Last question from my side. You are posted as a collector in a district. You are from the English background, you have studied English literature and all. What first thing you look for in the initial 3-4 days of your posting in your district?
Sir, in my district, in the initial 3-4 days, I would first like to introduce myself to the people in order to build a rapport with them. Also, I would like to study the problems that are engulfing the region so that I would be able to work better in the region.
Which area? Whether it is, I'll give you a hint.
Yes, sir.
Health, wealth,
Sir,
education, poverty area. Your introduction to the district is already there.
Yes.
Before you go there, people will know about you. It goes much beyond before that.
Yes.
Which area you will focus on?
Sir, I would like to focus upon education and skill development, because these are the areas that lead to the building of human capital and lead to the realization of the demographic dividend phase of the country.
Oh, okay. Aj.
Since you are from UP,
Yes,
so
sir.
what to my mind, what is the region that we have no industrial development east of Noida? Or you go all through UP, the Bihar, the West Bengal. There is no industrial development or there is no industrial reselection in this bigger part of the country. What could be one region to your mind?
Sir, the state being quite big that we neglect certain parts of it, and the development being skewed towards certain western and the more developed areas. Also, Kanpur Kanpur, Mirzapur, Ghazipur are the areas that have had traditional industries. So these industries have gone even today. But in those areas which were neglected, which have traditionally had little access to culture, are also neglected till date.
What could be one continuing thread that has not allowed it to develop industrially?
Sir, could you please repeat?
No, what could be the one basic reason you probably conceive of? Why didn't these areas pick up on the industrial development?
Sir, lack of skilled workforce.
We have lot many, Eastern UP and Bihari laborers going and working in the Tamil Nadu, working in Punjab, working in Haryana.
Yes.
If they can work here, why can't they work there?
Sir,
One. Two, we have too many Bengalis coming from Delhi, coming to Delhi. They're skilled workers, skilled in tailoring, skilled in ornament, gold making, ornament making. So they are there. They are quite skilled people.
Yes.
I'm sure. And we have too many. Education has been really quite up in the West Bengal and Bihar and UP, eastern part of UP too. But there has been no corresponding industrial development. This is how I understand it.
Sir, there has been mostly a shift from the agriculture to the service sector, bypassing the industrial development, because there are two stratas that have basically developed in these regions, haves and have-nots. The haves have been more interested in the service sector, whereas the have-nots have not been able to skill themselves enough that they would lead to the industrial development. A labor force they can
To specific, capital has not gone down to this part of the country, which would be very important for the development of an industry.
Yes, sir.
Like the entire, if you go beyond Kanpur, there is no industry in UP. All through Bihar, almost 1,000 kilometers, there is no industry in Bihar. West Bengal has not seen any industrial development. So one is maybe, to my mind, capital inflow. Other would be, to as I understand it, serious law and order issue. I would like to your comments.
Sir, definitely law and order is a component, because the coming up of various industrial hotspots in the southern regions such as Bangalore certainly prove the point. The work culture is better in southern states, the law and order is slightly better in southern states, and this is why the modern industries are coming up there. But Uttar Pradesh has its issues here in the law and order component, and this is why the big industrialists are scared to invest their capital in these areas. Also, sir, the market is also not very resourceful, and this is why there is also infrastructural access is also limited in these areas. So there are various reasons.
One question from my side, one more. Why do you wish to get into civil services?
Sir, I would like to get into the civil services in order to serve the nation. I think I have the capability wherein I have a problem-solving approach, and that is what is needed today when India is on the developing chart.
How would you ensure that it develops in the right direction?
Sir, through a focus on education, skill development, health as well, and various social factors. I would really like to harp on the importance of the nudge component, which has also been mentioned by the present government in the economic survey as well, and has also seen success in programs such as Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So the behavioral component I would really like to bring into the administration, which has been missing for quite a time.
आशना, एक तो मैं हिंदी में बात करूंगा आपसे, आप अपनी लैंग्वेज चुन सकते हैं। और आपने अपनी बात में कहा कि ईस्टर्न यूपी में आप चाहती हैं काम करना, और आपने ये भी कहा कि वो एक डिप्राइव सोसाइटी कह सकते हैं आप उसे, या एक एरिया है ऐसा। एक्चुअल पोजीशन ये है कि वेस्टर्न यूपी में जिस तरह से यमुना और गंगा का जो ग्राउंड वाटर का पूरा सिस्टम है वो इतना पोल्यूटेड हो गया है कि कैंसर के लिहाज से ये काफ़ी ज़्यादा प्रभावित इलाका है, काफ़ी ज़्यादा इसमें इफेक्टिव इलाका है इस मामले में। तो आपको ये नहीं लगता कि ये धीरे धीरे अगर इस तरह की स्थिति होती है तो ये एरिया बहुत ज़्यादा डिप्राइव हो जाएगा, और इसके रीज़न क्या हैं?
Sir, there are various reasons that are leading to the deterioration of the groundwater quality in these areas. One, the skewed agriculture pattern that has come about as an impact of the green revolution, as well as the faulty government policies such as minimum support price, the skewed nature of the minimum support price. Sir, yes, there has been a lot of deterioration of the water quality in these regions. Also, the air quality due to practices like stubble burning. So in the coming years, it would become the area would certainly become.
स्टेबल बर्निंग तो एक खास सेक्शन, एक खास टाइम का की प्रॉब्लम है.
Yes.
बेसिकली मैं ये जानना चाहूँगा कि आपको क्या लगता है कि ये सब चीज़ें, क्योंकि आप इन्हीं सारे ये सिस्टम की ही चीज़ें हैं दी हुई, और इन्हीं सारी चीज़ों को जो प्रोग्रेसिव हैं, जिसे आप प्रोग्रेसिव कह रहे हैं, जिसे ग्रीन रिवोल्यूशन वगैरह या जो भी हो, इनको ही आप अप्लाई करेंगे ईस्टर्न यूपी में वहाँ के प्रोडक्शन को और बढ़ाने के लिए, जिस तरह से आप कह रहे हैं, या फिर इंडस्ट्री वगैरह के लेवल पर. तो ये बैलेंस कैसे होगा, और ये जो प्रॉब्लम है वेस्टर्न यूपी की, इसको कैसे सॉल्व करेंगे? क्या है, कुछ आइडिया है आपके दिमाग में? क्योंकि माइग्रेट हो रहे हैं लगातार. मैं देख रहा हूँ वेस्टर्न जो यूपी है उसका एक बड़ा सेक्शन जो है वो लगातार माइग्रेट हो रहा है वहाँ से.
Sir, I would like to divide my answer in two parts. So one, how to cater to the problems of Western UP. Sir, the problems of Western UP, the catering of the problems of Western UP lie in various government programs such as National Clean Air Program that aims to reduce the particulate matters in the air, adoption of BS6
आप अपने कुछ
fuel.
प्रोग्राम बताइए जिसको लगता हो कि ये करना चाहिए. गवर्नमेंट के प्रोग्राम तो है ही है.
Sir, we can try to shift the agricultural pattern from paddy and sugarcane to the millets. That could be one. That could be one solution. Another one would be the adoption of modern technologies such as the straw management system in order to deal with the problem of stubble burning. Another thing that can be done is setting up of modernization of the monitoring systems, air monitoring systems in the state. Also, sir, afforestation is another program that can be brought about. The next part of my answer would cater to the development initiatives that would be taken up in the Eastern UP. Since Eastern UP has remained out of the touches of industrialization and urbanization for so long, now the initiatives that are to be taken up can actually be the modern initiatives, such as we can try to incorporate the zero budget natural farming model in Eastern UP, which is very environment friendly. We can establish industries with the sulfur capturing technology in the industries.
Okay.
That would be less polluting.
वन डिस्ट्रिक्ट वन प्रोडक्ट के बारे में जानती हैं?
Yes, sir.
बताइए.
So, One District, One Product is a flagship program of the government of UP, which has also been adopted by the Indian government at large. So, One District, One Product aims at
हापुड़ का क्या ले जाएंगे आप?
Sir, Hapur, sir, textiles.
टेक्सटाइल्स.
Yes, sir.
हापुड़ के पापड़ नहीं,
Sir, Papa.
गजक नहीं,
Bilkul, sir.
टेक्सटाइल क्यों?
Sir, textile because the town from where I come, Pilkhua, which is also a part of Hapur district, so there it is already doing very well in the textile sector as well as handloom sector. There are already 120 medium scale industries and 1400 power looms in Pilkhua.
लेकिन टेक्सटाइल सेक्टर जितना वास्ट है इंडिया में, जितना
Yes.
ज़्यादा है, और खासकर गुजरात और महाराष्ट्र के इलाके में, आपको लगता है कि वो आइडेंटिफाई हो पाएगा, कोई उसकी आइडेंटिटी बन पाएगी?
Yes, sir, I think so because the textiles that are being, sir.
क्या यूनिक है टोंडला के टेक्सटाइल में,
Sir-
हापुड़ के?
So mostly we have shifted to the power looms, but hand looms are still still cater to only 5% of the total textile sector. So Hapur specializes in handloom sector, so I think that that way it would be able to establish its distinguishing identity.
अच्छा, आपने एक एनजीओ में काम किया है.
Yes.
इस तरह के मैक्सिमम एनजीओ इसी तरह के हैं कि जो डिप्राइव सेक्शन है सोसाइटी का, वल्नरेबल सेक्शन है सोसाइटी का, आप उसको उन बच्चों को एजुकेट करेंगे.
Yes.
तो लार्जर स्केल पे देखें तो जो हमारा सिस्टम है, एजुकेशन सिस्टम है, वो नियर अबाउट वही है, यानी उसी सिस्टम के अंदर आपको कुछ ना कुछ करना है. तो आपको लगता है कि इस जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम हमारा रन कर रहा है, उसी एजुकेशन सिस्टम में जिस तरह से आप लोग काम करेंगे, तो सिर्फ उन्हें आप एजुकेट करना चाहते हैं, जैसे हम सारे लोग एजुकेट होते हैं वैसे वो भी एजुकेट होना चाहिए, हो रहे हैं, उसमें क्या नया होना चाहिए? आपको क्या लगता है कि जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम है वो सफिशिएंट है, या कुछ नया चाहिए उनके लिए, जो वल्नरेबल सेक्शन जिसे आप कह रहे हैं?
So the government has also realized that the education is that the traditional system of education is not enough, and this is why we came up with a new education policy, which talks about interventions in varied sector and talks about the Panchkosh strategy, wherein they say that we are not only looking forward for mental development and intellectual development, but also spiritual development, physical development, and development of life energy in a child. So yes, when we look at the education, I would like to transition from the traditional education system to a holistic education system.
Example.
Examples are mindfulness classes, such as the ones that have been incorporated in the Delhi government schools, the mental health programs, regular mental health programs, gender sensitivity in children, reduction in the burden of bags of children.
Okay.
In
Yes, Aashna. Just assuming that you got a posting in a district in Eastern Uttar Pradesh, as you preferred, and you find to have that you are the only female out there, and all the staff under you is like, let's say, they are having that patriarchal, male chauvinist approach. How will you deal with that?
Sir, I would like to focus on the awareness programs and the behavioral component of it. The fact that I am there as the female in an area which is not which has very patriarchal attitudes in itself provides a role model to the people and the women out there. Also,
Just assuming that your staff is that, the immediate staff that you are going to deal with, they have this approach. How will you deal with that?
Sir, I would like to set up certain awareness programs for them and the skilling programs for them, the gender sensitive skilling programs for them, maybe once a month. So that they are introduced to also the case solving approach. I would like them to undergo at least 1 day a week, wherein a case is given to them and they have to identify the problems in the case and what their solutions would be. Post that, I personally will take a look at their answers and would like to point out the differences that they have brought about in their answers. That would be a good exercise, which is also being performed in the corporate sector for bringing about gender sensitivity.
So, have you worked somewhere in corporate sector?
No, sir.
Okay. I just saw that you did your class 10th from Udaipur, St. Mary's.
Yes, sir.
So, Ghaziabad, Udaipur, and then Delhi, how this journey was. And I never, your Rajasthan element was missing from all your developmental approach. Though Rajasthan needs a lot of development, we have seen that the rural areas of Rajasthan are still, there's a large section which is for what you call as vulnerable.
Yes, sir.
So, how will you, let's say you got Rajasthan, so will that,
Yes, sir.
how will you identify the problems first?
Sir, I would be very clear in my approach. I would divide my segments. When I go out and look for the problems, I would divide my segments into the issues of poverty, the issues facing women, the issues facing children, education issues, health issues, skill development issues. And that's how I will study the issues first. And then my approach would depend upon the findings of that study.
Okay. I saw your hobbies is reading. Reading what? It's very unclear term. Reading could be newspaper reading is also reading.
Yes, sir.
What you like to read?
Sir, I like reading novels. I like reading non-fiction as well. Also some poetry. Because I was engrossed in the last 3 years in this rigorous preparation, I would mostly pick up some poems and read them.
So what was the last book you read?
So the last book I read was the book by Derek King. It's called Love for a Deaf Rebel, Schizophrenia on Bowen Island. So,
What schizophrenia?
sir, it is a mental condition characterized by delusions, hallucinations, and a heightened sense of the presence of someone else.
Is it different from multiple personality disorder?
Yes, sir, it is. Sir, multiple personality disorder, the person feels oneself to be having different personalities at different times. Whereas in schizophrenia, the person does not feel himself to be another person, but sees the presence of some other fictional person in the room.
Just one last question, may supported by a supplement question. You said you are doing your master's from in international relations, and I see your optional as anthropology. Why? So generally, those who are into civil services, they are generally, if they are pursuing masters, generally they go for the subject of their optional. Why there is so diversity in this?
Sir, I decided to do my master's after I chose my optional subject.
Okay. So, how would you analyze India as a global leader or in this changing geopolitical situation?
Sir, one would be the strategic location of India in the Indo-Pacific region, which is gaining heightened currency, especially due to the differences between the emerging China as well as the one of the superpowers, US. One would be one would be the geopolitical or the geostrategic location of India. Another one would be the rising economy of India in terms of purchasing power parity. India is the third largest economy in the world, and otherwise also it is the fifth largest economy in the world. Another reason I would say would be the high diaspora of India that is fragmented in the world. Such as we find Garmitiyas in the African region. We find Caribbean Indians in the Caribbean as well. Also, there is a high diaspora in the UK and US as well. So there we are able to push our soft power outreach. Lately, there have also been initiatives such as the popularization of yoga that India has done.